There are 3 quarterbacks I cannot wait to watch in 2019. I'm so excited. And I will say, if your quarterback is not on the list, please do not take it personally. I mean, no offense. I was driving around with my girl last weekend, and we were going to the beach. And on the way to the beach, I realized I was just sitting there just like daydreaming. I was so excited to watch these 3 quarterbacks. I'm not going to name Trevor Lawrence or Tua Tagovailoa. They're not on the list. It's not that I'm not excited about them. It's just we all know Trevor Lawrence is going to kill it. Tua Tagovailoa is going to have a great season. What about the other people? The unknown. The next 3 quarterbacks I'm going to list, it's the unknown that makes them interesting. Will they succeed or will they not? Why would that happen? The intrigue and the curiosity I have is why these 3 quarterbacks are the quarterbacks I am most excited to watch in 2019. The first quarterback is Jalen Hurts, the quarterback at Oklahoma. He's a graduate transfer. He got beat out by Tua Tagovailoa at Alabama last year. So Jalen Hurts left Alabama. He transferred away. And I think the story here is this, is that his freshman year of college, Jalen Hurts lost the national championship to Deshaun Watson and Clemson. And when they lost the national championship, the weakness of Alabama, Alabama's weakness was their starting quarterback wasn't very good. Jalen Hurts, their quarterback, had a really, really limited ability to throw the football. Then he got benched. He didn't play much all year. He got benched. Tua beat him out. And we didn't see Jalen Hurts again until the 2018. So 2016 was his first year, was rough. 2017 was rough, but he played all year. 2017, he got beat out by Tua. Tua was the starting quarterback all through 2018. The last time we saw Jalen Hurts, and the first time we really saw him in a meaningful game, was in 2018 in the SEC championship game between Alabama and Georgia. And what we saw was a different version of Jalen Hurts, a guy who is really, really improved. In the final quarter of the SEC championship game, Jalen Hurts was 7 for 9, had 82 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and he led a come-from-behind victory over Georgia. So the question we have, the reason why I'm intrigued to watch Jalen Hurts this year is, what kind of quarterback are we getting from Jalen Hurts? Are we getting the guy who wasn't that great at Alabama his first couple of years? Or are we getting the improved version of Jalen Hurts that we saw in the SEC championship game this year? Did he improve? So he sat on the bench for a whole year, watched a lot of film. I think he played against Tua, who's an incredibly gifted quarterback. I have no doubt that competition probably elevated the play of Jalen Hurts. Is it possible? I think it is, that Jalen Hurts is going to be much improved. He's got a great head coach, Lincoln Riley, at Oklahoma. He's got a year of battling against a really good quarterback, and he's got a year of sitting and learning and watching a bunch of film. I think it is not only possible, very likely, Jalen Hurts has a wonderfully fantastic year and dominates at Oklahoma. And that is what I'm curious to see. Now, maybe he gets beat out. Maybe Spencer Rattler, the freshman quarterback, comes in and just beats him out. I think that's unlikely. And I cannot wait to watch Jalen Hurts in 2019. The next quarterback I can't wait to watch is Jacob Eason, the quarterback from the University of Washington. He's got another cool story. This is a guy who started in the SEC. His true freshman season, he was a starting quarterback at Georgia. That's unheard of. You're the starting quarterback at a big-time SEC, and not even like a Kentucky, at Georgia. You're the starting quarterback as a true freshman at Georgia. And at the beginning of his sophomore year, Jacob Eason got hurt. And that's when Jake Fromm, the backup quarterback, came in. And even though Jacob Eason was a better quarterback, Georgia got on a winning streak. Their roster was incredible. Jake Fromm was playing pretty well. And they said, well, we're winning. We're not going to screw this up. We're going to stick with Jake Fromm the whole year. And so even though, in my opinion, Jacob Eason was a better quarterback than Jake Fromm, Georgia stuck with their guy. And that led Jacob Eason to transfer. He said, I'm going to leave Georgia. I'm going to go transfer to University of Washington. I think it's very, very likely Jacob Eason, a guy who started as a true freshman at Georgia, a guy who, if you watch the way Jacob Eason throws the football, he has a special amount of arm strength. He's different. Watch him in high school. It's just the ball comes out of his hand differently than any guy I've seen in a long time. He's like a Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen level of arm strength. He's different. And I think Jacob Eason is very likely to dominate the Pac-12 next season. I cannot wait to watch what happens and how that unfolds. The final quarterback I am really, really excited to watch is a guy entering his second year in college. His name is JT Daniels. He is the quarterback at USC. And last year he struggled. He wasn't awful, but he had 14 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, and a 59% completion percentage. But USC got a new offensive coordinator. USC's new offensive coordinator is Graham Harrell, a former Texas Tech quarterback, a guy who played for Mike Leach back in the day. What that means is he has a lot of very intricate, very complex passing schemes in his brain. By the way, Graham Harrell is 4th all-time in Division I passing yards. So my assumption is that Graham Harrell's offense is going to open up USC's passing game, very similar to what Graham Harrell did at his former school, North Texas University. North Texas loved him. They wanted to keep him. The truth is, financially, they could not keep up with USC. They were prepared to give him a $3,000 raise, and USC was like, we have millions of dollars, so we'll take you. And I cannot wait to see what happens. Again, in JT Daniels' true freshman season, he wasn't great. He struggled. And I was willing to say, look, he's got a bad offensive system. I don't really know that his coaching's great, and he's a true freshman. He's a young kid. This year is the year to see what happens. A really good coach. He's got a year of experience under his belt. I cannot wait to see if and how JT Daniels develops next year at USC. My name is Zach Schaumler. This is my podcast, Strong Opinion Sports. It is my favorite thing in the entire world. And I want to ask for your help. I want this show to grow. I want more people to watch and more people to listen to this podcast. My dream is to do this show as my full-time job. I want to own it myself. I want to do it on the internet and have complete control. I don't want to do it for CBS or ESPN. I don't want to work for a big network. I want to own it myself. And if you believe in that dream, please do me a huge favor. Help me grow by telling your friends about this podcast. Share it on Facebook, share a link on Twitter, maybe you screenshot it, put it on Instagram. I don't have a marketing strategy beyond this. This is all I have. You know, a lot of people, one of the most common comments I get on YouTube is, you have great content. We love your stuff. You deserve more viewers. What you should do is you should buy ad spaces on Facebook or Twitter or promote yourself and buy ads. I have no money. I am a broke college kid. I can't buy ad spaces. I don't have money to pay for books. And so my plan, this is my marketing plan. This is my strategy. All I plan to do is put every ounce of effort I have into making the very best podcast I can. I believe if I make a great product that people believe in, that people like, then they will share it with their friends. And so if you agree with that, if you believe in the show, if you like what I do, please do me a huge favor. Tell your friends about it. Help me grow by telling your friends about the show. I'm done. I feel like a used car salesman. It feels gross. I just try to be honest with you guys. And as always, please, if you believe in what I do, help me grow by telling your friends about this podcast.